Hello, everyone. Keith Casebolt back with you. That means it's time for the Gary C. Johnson Radio Show. And my friend, when I say it's good to see you and to be with you, I mean it.
Amen. It is so good to be back, to be able to talk to my friends on the radio.
You know, you always tell me about this little life, that we take so many things for granted. And in all these years of radio, you've preached to our friends. You don't know how wonderful it is to have this little life we have.
You don't know how wonderful it is to be able to stand up and walk, use your hands. What a absolute blessing that is until it's taken away from you.
And you've had a few challenges here in the last couple of weeks, but I'd say a lot of our friends have had challenges too.
Absolutely. So let's talk about that a little bit. For those of you that are listening, so you'll know why you've been hearing reruns on this program, is about 4 weeks ago I fell in a parking lot and fractured my shoulder up real bad. Ended up actually having to have a shoulder replacement. And it brought home to me what I've been preaching to you folks, how important it is to live every minute in the now. Because I was laying with my face smashed up in a pool of blood in a parking lot in Lexington, and I wasn't even aware I was there. So the thing about it is, human beings are special. There's an optometrist, Dr. Karen Santos, who happened to be in the parking lot at the same time. Anita had gone to the car and didn't even know I'd fallen. And she came to my assistance immediately and got me sitting up so that they could control the blood from my face. And then again, I wasn't aware of any of this.
From what I understand, she actually sat down and put her back against your back to brace you so that you could sit up. And this is a complete stranger.
Complete stranger.
Someone that you have never met in your life.
So those of you that may be listening to this program in Lexington, Dr. Karen Santos, optometrist, extraordinary woman. I can't wait to meet her.
You talk about all the goodness in people. And here it comes back again, a complete stranger that comes to your aid.
And there's another fellow I can remember, once I sort of come to myself, I can remember an older fellow that had evidently gone somewhere and got a bunch of paper towels. And he was standing there handing them to him. I don't know who he was, but if you're listening, thank you. That's all I have to say.
Gary, you've already talked about the goodness of humanity. But here you are among strangers, and these people could have walked on by. They could have pushed their cart with their groceries or done whatever and just said, boy, that's bad. But they stopped what they were doing to render aid to a total stranger because it was the right thing to do.
And that's what we keep saying, the inherent goodness in people.
Yeah.
It's there. And I was able to get the benefit of it. And I'm doing well. I'm going to, I think, at some point fully recover from this. But I just want to, this is playing in a channel in Lexington, and I just wanted to say to all of you that you have a wonderful lady in your community, Dr. Karen Santos.
Karen, thank you so much. And I want to talk to you about something, because the whole time you've been away, I've been texting you and I've been thinking. You have been adamant ever since I've met you about when you defend injured people, about the deal that goes on with them, not being able to do the things that they've been doing. And I know you. You're the most active person I know. You take no medication. You walk, you exercise, you work. I mean, there is no downtime for Gary C. Johnson. And yet, here, one of the first times in your life, you had to be down for a while.
First broken bone. One thing I learned from all of this actually would make me a better lawyer. And I tell you why. I never understood that if you break a bone or have an injury to one part of your body, that it literally impacts every other part of your body in a very, very, very negative way.
From a functionality or from a physical?
From functioning.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Well, yeah, I mean, you lost the use of your arm and your shoulder, so from dressing to eating, the simplest activities, right?
Every part of your body. And I had the bleeding inside of me all the way down my back, and it's all blue and all that. Well, that has to come out of your body. That's waste.
Mm-hmm.
So your kidneys go into overtime
Oh.
to try to protect you from all that toxins in your body.
So it's a chain reaction.
It's a chain reaction.
Your body's trying to help heal, but it's doing other things at the same time.
So, folks, if any of you have had a broken bone or whatever, you know what I'm talking about.
So when you say it's going to make you a better attorney,
I understand that.
You've got a client, and the defense is going to say, "Well, it's just a broken arm." You're going to say, "Hell no, it's not just a broken arm. Let me tell you what it is."
Yeah, or a broken leg or whatever.
It's a life-changing experience.
And the good thing about it is we heal.
Well, I want to ask you about that too. I mean, you're healing. You look great. You're sitting right across from me. Other than you having the brace on, I would not know anything that happened if I looked at you right now.
Mm-hmm.
But during the course of this, was there doubt? Was there fear that you're thinking, am I going to get the use of my shoulder and my arm back? Am I going to be able to get back to what I'm doing?
See, having never been through it, I had no idea.
It's first-time experience.
Yeah, I'd never had a broken bone after all these years or anything.
Even though you've dealt with people with injuries all of your life, it's never happened to you.
You got it.
So all of a sudden, now you're wondering, will I get back the full use, all these things?
Another recommendation I want to make to you folks that are listening is treasure your spouse.
Mm.
Because without Anita, I would not have made it.
Yeah.
She was there every second of the way. She fought for me.
She's tough.
No joke.
Yeah.
I never realized how tough.
Early on, I texted her and I texted your son CD, and both said the same thing. There is no doubt he's going to be back and better than ever before. And you had a lot of support around you.
So seriously, folks, make sure you take care of each other.
Oh.
It is so critical because you never know from one minute to the next when you will be in a situation that I was in.
Gary, how many times on this radio program have you talked about the family unit? And when you've talked about representing someone that's been injured, you have talked about the effect on the family and what the family means.
Honestly, it may have affected Anita in one sense more than me because she had to put up with it.
Well,
she knew what was going on,
But, here you are, the leader of the family, and no one's ever experienced this with you. I don't even know that you've ever had a cold. I've been with you 23 years, and I've never even seen you had the sniffles.
I didn't.
So this is a first time in a lot of areas.
Well, you know me, I never do anything halfway. When I'm going to get sick, by God, I do it good. I do it right.
If you're going to go big,
Yeah,
if you're going to do it, go big, right?
You could say I'm an overachiever when it comes to this.
Gary, what was the saying we used to have? Experience is the hardest way to learn, but the only way some of us can.
No, a fool learns no other way.
Well, unfortunately, when it comes to having empathy for injured people, or when it comes to knowing what people are going through, sometimes it takes us going through it and walking through hell to figure out how bad these things can be for people.
Well, the one thing I can honestly say, I never realized, and I don't know why, you would think it's just common sense, how your entire body reacts to a place an area where you get hurt. And those of you that's been hurt know what I'm talking about. I mean, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
It's a shock factor.
Everything is out of kilter.
Yeah. So your system is shocked because there's something definitely wrong.
And it shut down.
You know, several years ago, I had to be in the hospital, and one thing that I found out when I was in the hospital, I had some friends that stopped in to see me, and they would say things like, "Boy, today was a beautiful day," or "We played golf today." And I literally didn't want them to tell me that. You know, it was, I don't know how to put it, but it was painful to know that it was a 75-degree day and people were outside and I was in the hospital and couldn't get outside. They meant no harm, but it had an adverse effect.
Well, you know, it's amazing how you lose time when you have a serious injury. I fell, I guess, on a Friday, and then I had a surgery the next Friday. I don't remember that week.
No wonder. Because of the trauma.
I just don't remember it.
Yeah.
I guess your mind shuts that stuff out and takes it away from you or whatever. But
in order to allow you to deal with the pain?
I don't know why, but I'm glad I don't remember it. So,
you know, I see the tone of your voice, and even looking at the expression of your face and your eyes, that your client that you're going to be standing in front of here in the next week or two, as you get completely healthy to go back into that courtroom, holy cow, what a Gary C. Johnson is going to be there talking for that individual.
Well, at least I will have a much better understanding of what they went through, just like anyone that's had that type of injury would. And again, I want to say to the public, I am so grateful to Dr. Karen Santos, optometrist in Lexington, and I will never be able to repay my wife Anita for the things she's done for me during this situation. So world, it's a good old world out there. There's good people out there. Remember, this year was the year we were going to be happy, right?
Happy and succeed.
And it's my intention that we do that. And it all comes down to the people in your life, folks. If you're planning on being happy, you've got to have people around you.
Well, all right, I got to go into this conversation with you because, you know, I talked to a few people. They knew that we were playing some reruns, and they said, "Where's your partner at?" I said, "Well, he's dealing with an injury. He had a fall." And I had one person say, "Well, now, you guys always say it could be good, it could be bad. Time will tell." Tell me something that has become good out of what was certainly a bad fall and accident for you.
A total appreciation for my wife Anita, 100%, is a good thing that's come from it.
Even though you loved and adored her, you see her in a completely different picture now.
Yeah. And the other one is I have a much greater understanding now of my client's injuries. And that's a good thing. I will heal from this. There's no question about it. And I will be a better lawyer and person because of it. Now, would I go through it again for any amount of money? Nope. Nope. I know one thing now. If I'm in front of a jury and if one of my clients has been hurt, I'm going to ask for a ton of money. Because there's no amount of money that can pay that somebody would take to go through something like this.
Great point. We've talked about tort reform before. What's the dollar figure that you would take to go through
there is none.
The last 4 weeks of hell that you've been through?
No.
There is no dollar amount.
No.
No way.
And you know, they talk about $250,000 caps on pain and suffering. $100 million wouldn't have been enough. I wouldn't have taken it to go through what I've been through.
Yeah. Elon Musk's money wouldn't have mattered.
That's right. Because money has no value to you when you're in total misery.
And can't get out of the pain.
Right.
Yeah. So you made a statement there that I find very interesting. The arm's going to heal. The pain's going to go away at some point in time, and the arm's going to heal. But the changes in you with the way that you will look toward your clients, the appreciation that you have for Anita, the appreciation you have for Dr. Santos there in Lexington, those things will never go away.
That's right.
So that's the good that came out of something that was a tragedy.
That's right. Oh, there's good in this. There's no question about it. There's always good if you look hard enough.
Sure.
But my friends, you can be happy. And if you aren't sick and you don't have any broken bones right now, go out there this afternoon or evening or whenever and just look around and enjoy life. Find someone to talk to. Hang out. Enjoy being alive. I can't emphasize that enough to you. Be where you are every second.
Gary, let's go back to that just for a moment. The day of the accident, I'm sure you probably had things on your mind. Maybe there was things that you had at work that you needed to do. There might have even been a few things that maybe you were worried about. But after the accident, that changed everything, didn't it?
It did.
You know, now
It's amazing.
the grass is greener, the sky is bluer. We opened up this program.
Just being able to go out and sit on the porch. It's become a luxury for me.
We opened up this program with saying it's good to be here and happy to be here. But you mean it. It's not just saying it. It's good.
Today's the first day I've driven in a month.
Just getting behind the wheel of your vehicle.
Yeah.
And getting to drive yourself down the road and see the sights and do all the things that you've done. Something that you took for granted maybe on a daily basis.
Like a fool. I never understood how good I had it. I do now.
Yeah. Well, I think you did understand how good you had it. You've actually preached on this program just what you said a while ago. If you're able to get up and walk and stand and you can get outside and you've got your health, you've got everything. You realized it, but now you realize it to infinity because that was taken away from you.
You just don't know, my friends, one day from the next what will happen to you. You don't have any way of knowing. I never dreamed, because I was so careful in everything and took care of myself and walked every day and did all of those things. Next thing you know, I'm laying on a parking lot in Lexington with my face banged up.
How many times have you said, we start out the day, we have all these plans, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. We never plan on ending up in the hospital with our body broken and something happening to us.
That's right. Oh, no, I didn't plan on this.
No, you had to get the groceries back. You were going to do other things. You were traveling the next day. You had a lot of plans. And then all of a sudden, everything's upended.
But there will be good coming of it.
There's
no question about it.
There's no doubt in my mind. And, the great thing of it is you talk about that dash often. You and I have talked about stretching it and getting the most out of it. Just sitting across from you and looking at the smile on your face. I don't know if the good Lord has in mind for 20 years, 30, or 40, but I have a funny feeling that every second of whatever time that there is, Gary C. Johnson's going to be smiling and going to be thankful and going to be enjoying every second of it.
You can bet your life on that. There is no issue there.
And you know
and
what?
My friends, I hope you do too. I really do.
Oh, Lord. I mean, it should be a lesson for all of us that we should start. If you haven't done that, start it today. To make today the day that you enjoy and embrace every second of your life.
That's right.
Because
and
it
don't
could change.
be miserable. I mean, an injury will make you, will bring that for you. Don't bring it on yourself.
Yeah. Misery, I guess that's the one thing you've tried to get across on this program. If you've got something that can make you miserable, okay. But if you don't be miserable.
That's right.
I think there's a sign down
and if you got something that's making you miserable, get away from it.
I think there's a sign down in the office in Lexington we've got that says if it doesn't whatever it is, that if it doesn't kill you,
Makes you stronger.
It makes you stronger. But bears can kill you. Stay away from bears. So
Yeah.
this was a situation to where you had a really nasty injury. You had something to be miserable over.
Oh, and then I took advantage of it.
Bless you, my friend. I think at one time I had texted you maybe too many times one day, and you finally said, "Why don't you go home and do something constructive?" And I said, "I must be getting on his nerves here, so I'm not going to text that day again." But it is really good to see you, and I hope our friends, Gary, take your words of advice. I really do.
Any of them that's been through something like this, I believe will. They know. They've been there.
And
With time, you may forget, but I hope I don't.
I don't think you will. I don't think you ever will. And, maybe someday, Dr. Santos, if possible, love to have her on the program just to say thank you.
Never know. I've never met her, other than I didn't meet her that way. But I know one thing: she must be one extraordinary woman to do what she did for me.
Yeah, and there's no doubt when you do get to meet her, it's going to be a meeting full of appreciation and thanks.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
my friend, it is so good to have you back, and you're not full steam yet because you still got a little brace on, but that's going to go away in a week or so. And you're going to be back better than ever.
I'll be back for sure.
I am sure of it. I am sure of it. Gary, I'm thinking, as you and I are sitting here, isn't it funny that for all these years we've talked about life and the love of life, and then it comes back and even we can learn more about how precious it is.
That's the surprising thing. We've read from all these books and things, and as though it might be of some enlightenment to us. But I guess until you've lived it and been through it, you don't understand.
That's a great point. So all of the Dale Carnegie, all of the books that we've read, all the inspiration, the subconscious, everything that we've delved into on this program for all these years. But when you had the accident, you felt it. It became reality.
And it made sense to me. The thoughts in your head, the different thoughts the negativity thoughts that start coming in.
Oh, my goodness.
And you have to just shut it down.
That's a great point. So when the negative thoughts came in, did you view them as if they were a TV channel? And
I did exactly what that book said. I removed myself from them and just watched them.
So in other words, that's an interesting take on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you choose to say, I've got to do this in order to get better and to recover.
Right.
Well, to our friends, I hope you take Gary's advice on everything. And I'm so glad that you're back.
And you're not as glad as I am.
And if you want to get in touch with Gary, you can do that. Gary at GaryCJohnson.com.
That's it.
And I know you will be happy to hear from everyone.
Yeah, it's a wonderful world out there, and there's some wonderful people in it. It's just, and now I know that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well,
suspected it before, believed it before, know it now.
I feel like you're on a mission. I'm telling you, there's more to do in this world, and there's more happiness to find, and more success to find, and more friends to find.
And maybe my friends out there, please don't be miserable. Please don't.
Amen.
What a waste.
Amen. That's the perfect thing to end the program on. You can get in touch with Gary again, Gary at GaryCJohnson.com, and you can tune in to our radio program each and every week on this station right here at the same time. My friend, it was lonely without you. I struggled. So I am so glad that you're back. Hey, that's them calling right now. On behalf of Gary C. Johnson, I'm Keith Casebolt. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, Gary and I look forward to seeing you again next week, right here at this same time.